Shalom, shalom to the nation of Israel. Yahawah Atha. This is Officer Hamar,
Captain Zakar,
of Elders of Augusta, Georgia, the Light of Zion, and the priest Kahan and Minister Shalma of the Light of Zion. Right now, today, we're gonna be talking about, this is gonna be a real quick class on loving yourself, because that is overlooked at a lot. Right? We always looking into loving your neighbors or loving Yahawashi, loving the Most High, but we don't look into loving ourselves enough.
bring it out.
Right? And what does it even mean to love yourself? Right? And how do you show that you love yourself? How should you be moving if you love yourself? Right? So we have to. That's something we really have to meditate on. Right? You have to focus on yourself first before you could, get right with other people.
Bring it out.
Right? You have to know by yourself what love means for you to love other people. What true love is, right? According to the Most High and according to the Scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to go ahead and get straight into it. We're going to go ahead and start off with Colossians chapter 3 verse 17.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And whatsoever you do, in word or deed, do all in the name of the Other One Yahawashi, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Him.
Right. So everything we're doing in word or deed, knowing that Yahawashi, prime example, right? Prime example is Yahawashi, our big brother, Yahawashi, our prime example, right? So everything we're doing in word or deed, we all do it in His name, because we are a follower of Yahawashi.
That's right.
Right. And we are true followers of Yahawashi. Right. That's who we are, followers of Yahawashi.
It's like Shalom family in the chat.
Khan, shalom to the families in the chat. But Khan, we are true followers of Christ, right? Of who people, when we see Yahawashi, that's who people ignorantly call Jesus Christ.
Khan.
Right. That's who we are. We are a true follower of. We follow His steps. He's that perfect example. And He's the guy everybody needs to try and be like.
That's right.
And I always say that, not like Michael Jordan, right? Not like Scottie Pippen, Chris Paul, LeBron James, Michael Jackson. Everybody want to be like these people, but nobody want to be like Yahawashi. But they claim they are a follower of Yahawashi. So we bring out this scripture in specific because we always have to consider Yahawashi in every work we do. That's according to the Most High.
That's right.
Right? So let's go ahead and get straight into it. Let me start off with Matthew chapter 22, verse 37.
Khan. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 22 and verse 37.
Mm-hmm.
It says, Yahawashi said unto him, Thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind.
Right. So we got that down pat, right? Loving the Most High, keeping the commandments, right? Showing that you love the Most High through your actions. But read.
This is the first and great commandment.
Mm-hmm.
And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's a what?
Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Right. So this is what we do, right? That's how love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's right.
Right. So then we go like, okay, we should love our neighbors. Right. But it also says as thyself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Which is overlooked at a lot. You should love your neighbor as yourself.
Bring it out.
What is that supposed to mean? Right. You would like the things you would do for your brother. That's what you should be doing for yourself. What's that scripture you love out? You know what I'm talking about?
Let me see. Matthew 7.
Yeah, Matthew 7. Right? Matthew 7.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 12. Therefore, all things whatsoever you would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them.
Right. So what you want men to do to you, that's how you should treat them. However you want people to treat you, that's how you should treat them.
That's right.
Right. If I know that I'm hungry, mm-hmm. and I know that I want some food, and I see that my brother is hungry, like put yourself in your brother's shoe.
Exactly.
That's what you should do. Put yourself in your brother's shoe. I know. Look, man, I know how he's feeling right now. He's hungry. Let me go make him some food. Right. In other words, keep that same energy. The same energy you keep with yourself is the same energy you should keep with your neighbor, with your brothers, with your sisters, for your people.
Bring it out.
Right. For your family. Right. Because again, we all came out the mud together. Mm-hmm. Right. We all getting out of the mud together. All praises. Right. All coming back to the Most High together. All praises. Mm-hmm. So everything we doing, just like Yahawashi.
Bring it out.
Right. Yahawashi was a big example to us. Mm-hmm. He died for the nation of Israel, for His people. Right. Yahawashi led Himself.
That's right.
Right. We have to consider our people, our brothers and sisters, and we also have to love ourselves. right? So the same energy you keep with your brother and sister, you got to keep towards yourself too. You cannot forget about yourself. But was that it?
Law.
Mm-hmm.
For this is the law and the prophets.
Right. That's the law and the prophets. Mm-hmm. Right. You know, without love, there's no law for you. Right. If you don't love your neighbors, there's no law. That's right. There's no law in you. You're not keeping the laws. Mm-hmm. Right. Let me get the Sirach 30 and 23. Ecclesiasticus 30 and 23.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30. Chapter 30 and verse 23. Mm-hmm. 1 second. Love thine own soul and comfort thy heart. It's like you.
Right. Love thine own soul and comfort thy heart. So like, I'm gonna let you finish it.
Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein.
Right. So the first sentence you see is love thine own soul. Right, which is important. Right. You have to love yourself. Mm-hmm. Right. You know, I hear a lot of people when they be like, okay, well, if this person was in my life, I'm nothing. You know, but at the same time, you have to understand that you have to love yourself. You always have to love yourself. You cannot ever lose yourself because you lost somebody.
I have a point on that later when you're done.
Right. Yeah. Right. You cannot lose yourself because you lost somebody. Right. Let's say you're keeping the commandments with somebody. You're good friends with somebody. Y'all doing the word of the Most High. Y'all chilling. Right. Then you lose them as a friend, and now you completely lose faith in the Most High. You're like, okay, you know what? The Most High allowed me to miss. This person died and was taken from my life. Why would you do that? Therefore, I lack faith in you, O Yahawah. You cannot do that. Right. You have to have that ultimate faith in the Most High and love yourself. You yourself have to come to that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? That's why they say, when you love yourself, you have wisdom, right? A person that loves himself has wisdom, mm-hmm. Right? But what was the point you have to prove out?
So on that note, right, thinking that it's somebody else that, sheds light into your life, and if they leave, you feel like you're worthless. Well, that person that you should be looking towards is the Most High, because the Most High is the only one that's not going to fail you. The Most High has always been there for you. Mm-hmm. It's always been there with you. The Most High has been strengthening you whenever you are always down. So if you put confidence in man, right, you put your happiness in man or a woman, etc., guess what? Once that person is taken away from you and you feel low, you made that person over the Most High automatically. Why? Because you should understand the Most High's will. It's the Most High's will that they're out of your life at this point. So if you trust in the Most High and you pray to the Most High, you actually keep him first, the Most High will always have you right. You won't be worried about what the next person is doing anymore. So you have to keep that in mind. Your happiness should come from the Most High. That's literally one of the fruits of the Spirit. Joy, mm-hmm. Right? Peace, love, etc. You should have that on your mind from always meditating on the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
Right? Doing his will and showing that you love him. It's how the Most High is going to always put you first and show you that he loves you, because you're an Israelite. And as an Israelite, guess what? The Most High puts you above all these other nations. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Right. And if you love yourself, you do what's right. That's right. For yourself. Mm-hmm. And what is right for yourself is keeping the commandments of the Most High.
That's right.
That is what's right for yourself. That's how you know you love yourself, right? Let me get Proverbs 18 and 9. It's 19 and 8. 19 and 8. Proverbs 19 and 8.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 8. Mm-hmm. And it says, he that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul.
Right. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. Mm-hmm. Because they understand, they understand that the way you love yourself, love your neighbor, love the Most High, is only one solution to it. And it's keeping the commandments, walking in faith towards the Most High, mm-hmm. Right? Looking at Yahawashi as our big brother.
That's right.
Right? That's how you're supposed to be moving. That's the spirit you're supposed to be moving with. And that's when you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I think I found myself. That's when you really find yourself. Because it's in you. Your identity is in you.
God.
Right? The Most High made you special. So when you get that wisdom and you wake up like, okay, I'm an Israelite, that's how you know you found yourself. Mm-hmm. Right? You cannot love yourself if you're lost. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You cannot love yourself if you're lost. You have to find yourself.
Ooh, I got another point on that too.
Right, but go ahead.
You can't love yourself when you're lost. I'll give you
Right.
an example. A rapper can have $2 million to $20 million. He can even
Mhm.
become a billionaire,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they'll always feel some type of void in their life.
Right.
They always feel some type of void. Why they can have all the women on earth. They can have all these different riches. He can have access to anywhere that he wants. But that missing link that's within him is not knowing the Most High.
Right.
Not putting the Most High first. Not even knowing who He is. Right. So whenever you see, like a movie and they're talking about, I'm missing something in my life, they'll put a woman in place, right? Well, guess what? It's supposed to be the Most High in that place. The Most High is the one who ultimately dictates what you have. Right? Without understanding that the Most High is the one who gave you all these riches and can take them away, you now have no fear and you don't have true wisdom. Because wisdom comes from fearing the Most High.
Right.
Go ahead,
Always, wisdom comes from the Most High.
That's right.
You cannot find wisdom. Wisdom all comes from the Most High.
Mhm.
It's not saying you could see, saying you could go under your bed and look for. Wisdom all comes from the Most High.
That's right.
Right. But like I was saying though, right, and just like you were saying, right, you have rappers that has millions of dollars, right? They got money, they got everything they want in their life, but they still not happy.
Mhm.
Why? Because they haven't found themselves.
That's right.
You got homeless, broke people that's happier than them, right? You have people. It don't matter what stage in life you are in. It don't matter if you're rich, if you're famous, who you are. If you don't know who you are, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in general, right? The Israelites.
That's right.
There's no happiness in you, right? You have to know who you are. You might think you're happy, but you could be destroying yourself, for example, right? You have all the ribs you want, you eating all the pigs, all the shrimps. You're like, damn, I'm living my best life. You happy, but you destroying yourself at the end of the day.
Bring it out.
So there's only one way to love yourself, and it's the commandments. That's the way you love yourself, right? That's why it says, you shall love yourself as you love thy neighbor, or thy neighbor as thyself, right? You love thy neighbor, you'll die for thy neighbor, but how about yourself? You know what I'm saying? Now let me get Matthew 7.
Con.
7 and 3.
Con. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye?
Right. That's Yahawashi speaking right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about sin in his eyes. Not, but I got sin in my eyes.
Bring it out.
You know what I'm saying? But read.
Verse 4. Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye?
How I'm gonna go up to my brother and say, let me take this mote out of your eyes, but I got a beam in my eyes.
How can you even see properly?
I can't even see properly, right? You wouldn't want a doctor that can't see properly to give eye surgery to you. I know you wouldn't want that, right? But read.
Verse 5. Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye.
Right. First, cast the beam out of your own eye. Tell your doctor, heck no, bro. Hell no. I need you to fix your eyes before you give me surgery in my eye. I need you to wear some glasses or something, because you're not going to give me surgery in my eyes. Read.
And then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye.
Then you could see clearly. Then you could fix my eyes. Do the surgery in my eye. Right. The whole point of this, right? The moral of this is that you have to be able to see the vision first before you even try and go out and help your brothers.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to find yourself and love yourself before you go out and tell your brother hey man, you should be loving yourself. Who are you to tell your brother to love yourself when you're not loving yourself?
Bring it out.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not keeping the commandments, but you going out telling your brother, man, keep the commandments. Keep the commandments.
Christianity.
Right. Taking you as a joke. You know what I'm saying? And you taking the Most High as a joke. You're not serious about what you're saying. You're not serious about it. Right? So, you always have to love yourself. You have to have that vision for yourself. Right? Let me give Philippians 4 and 8. 4 and 8. And then also verse 9. Philippians 4, 8 to 9. Right. So you really have to have that vision and love yourself first. Right? You have to find yourself first. That's why, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, right? But imagine somebody that's in the truth, right, versus somebody in the world, right? I know once I enter the truth and I hear a worldly person trying to give advice that has nothing to do with the scriptures, they trying to give you advice. It sounds good, it sounds good, But I'm like, you don't know who you are. So
Yeah.
why should I even listen to you? You know what I'm saying? Right? But you have something to say?
In the long run, their advice is not going to help you in the long run.
Right.
It may be seasonal, right? It may help you in the moment, but long term, no, because there's no actual life in what they speak, no living waters in within what they speak. Because what we speak, of course, when you're in the scriptures daily, it comes from the Most High. It comes from the scriptures, right? So they don't have that connection with the Most High. So what they say comes from a worldly perspective, whereas ours comes from the Most High, and he's above this world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, but go ahead.
But Khan, perfectly said. But Khan, you can read it whenever you're ready.
This is the book of Philippians, chapter 4 and verse 8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things.
You have to think on these things, right? I'm sorry, could you read that again?
Khan, this is the book of Philippians, chapter 4 and verse 8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true.
Right. Now, I want you to note this, right? Whatever things are true, you know, go ahead.
Whatsoever things are honest.
Are honest. Go ahead.
Whatsoever things are just.
Are just, you know, or it's good, right? Go ahead.
Whatsoever things are pure.
Pure. Go ahead.
Whatsoever things are lovely.
Lovely. Go ahead.
Whatsoever things are of good report.
Good report. Go ahead.
If there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things.
You have to always think on these things, right? You have to always think of these things, right? And like I said, that's something somebody that loves himself will naturally have with them.
That's right.
Right? You'll be a lovely person. You know, you're all about the truth. You know, all these words sound good. Like I said, you know, some people are twisted, right? All these words sound good, but it has to be based on the truth. You know, because sometimes the truth is a hard pill to swallow for people.
That's right.
So this has to be all based off the truth, right? You know, when we go out in the streets and say Esau is a devil, right? It's not us hating. It's us, you know, loving our brothers. You know, trying to wake up our brothers to who they are,
trying to get them away from the devil,
and trying to get them away from the devil, separate themselves from them, right? You know, it sounds mean, but you know, just because it sounds mean, they're gonna look at the scripture like, I don't think this applies to you. No, it does. It's just the truth. Right.
On that note, right, trying to get them away from them. When you bring out the information concerning what these Edomites have done to our nation, to our people, so unjust, and how they see themselves as higher than us, because they got away with it thus far, right? We have to show our people the atrocities that they've really committed against our people, to really get them away from these heathen, to get them away from the so-called white man, from every single other nation. Right. Why? Because they really do hate us. To this day, they still make millions and billions and trillions of dollars on sports entertainment. Right. Not only on sports entertainment, but our singing, our dancing, our culture, everything that we have. Well, imagine seeing a Moabite having cornrows. Right. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? These things our people don't even ponder. They may get upset about it a little bit, but they don't even understand that these other nations really envy us and really want to be like us, but they still hate us. So they get close to us to be cool with us, just to be more like us. Then they stab you in the back. Right. You're not supposed to trust your enemy. And that's why our people fall so much. We want to be like them so much, but what's the point? We don't even see how much they really want to be like us. Right. And that's a huge problem, showing that our people are really blind out here. That's right.
But also on that, your enemies is who taught you how to hate yourself, honestly,
as well,
and your people. That's how we separate from them, right? You know, you getting involved with them is not going to make anything any better for you, right? It's always important to love yourself first.
That's right.
Right. Like I said, you always have to know what you are doing for yourself and what's right for yourself before you even go on and try and tell other people what's right. You know what I'm saying? It just makes sense, right? Makes sense. Just like I said, you wouldn't want a doctor to do surgery on your eyes and they can't see properly. You wouldn't want that. So, right, you're telling your eye first. Right, you have to be able to see before you have, you know, you're trying to help me with my eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's just common sense. Right, but shalom again to everybody in the chat. Shalom. But yeah, condo, right? Let me get Romans 12 and 2.
Con.
Because you know, some people it might, you know, they might be too far in this, right? So I'm gonna bring this scripture out real quickly, right? And to talk on it furthermore. Go ahead.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Right. So you have to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be not conformed with this world that we are in right now.
That's right.
Don't get too comfortable with the world we are in right now.
That's right.
Because again, a lot of them feel like they love. They don't know what love is. So they don't even love themselves. Like I said, if you're lost, how could you love yourself?
Bring it out.
You know, how could you love yourself if you're lost? You cannot love yourself if you're lost. If you don't know who you are.
Bring it out.
You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
Come. That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High.
Right. And we prove it with the scriptures. That's
right.
What we do. Right. How would they be able to prove how they love themselves? Right. They don't even know what love is.
Bring it out.
Love, we do what is actually right. Right. Now go back to Matthew 22 and 37 again. I'm going to hit that point again. Right. Because like I said, people overread it. Right. They overread the verse 39. You could go to 39.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 22 and verse 39. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's like, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Like I said, that is what is overlooked at. You know, you read it like, okay, that's how love thy neighbor. Close the book, right? But how about as thyself? You know what I'm saying? The same mindset you have towards your neighbor, you should have towards yourself. If I know I'm hungry and I need food on the table and I see my brother and he's hungry, guess what? I'm going to provide him. I'm going to give him food on the table. I'm going to give him something to eat, right? If I know that I'm going to be late for work and if I know I'm going to be late for work and I know that my brother is going through the struggle, right? He ain't got no car ride, right? His life is on the line of losing his job. Guess what? I'm going to give him a ride to work.
Calm.
But calm. Salakia, I just received a text message. But Khan, you know, this is again about loving yourself.
That's right.
This is what this whole class is about: loving yourself. Right? You love yourself first. You show yourself that you love. You prove yourself to the Most High before you go out and try and help other people. That's the whole goal. That's the whole point. Right? You know, if you know loving the Most High is keeping the commandments, right, and loving your neighbors is wanting to see them keep the commandments, you know, and helping you keep the commandments. How about us?
Bring that out.
We're supposed to be keeping the commandments too if we love ourselves.
That's right.
The same thing would apply.
So I just had to interject one little bit. Like when you think about keeping the commandments of the Most High, how do we know that we love ourselves when we keep the commandments of the Most High? You think about the judgments of the Most High, which is something that's always overlooked. Right? The judgments of the Most High are things that people don't really like about the Most High, right? Especially when you're in Christianity, because they'll say you can do whatever you want. We're not able to keep the laws of the Most High,
right?
But that's not true. If you fear the Most High truly, guess what? You'd understand that the Most High can take you out of here at any moment,
anytime. Calm.
So with us keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and really showing that we love our brothers and sisters, we're showing that we fear the Most High first and foremost, and love the Most High. Right? We can go ahead, Slack.
Lacan, that was pretty. I think I hit all the points I wanted to hit. One thing I do want to let the live know is Friday, right? Friday, it's gonna be Shabbat. You know, for the Friday night class, we're actually gonna have a Q&A session with Captain Amwan. Featuring Captain Amwan. We're gonna have a Q&A session. So, you know, if you in this live, tune in, ask your questions. You know, throw everything at us. You know, it's gonna be featuring me, Captain Amwan, Captain Zakar, and it's gonna be lovely.
It's gonna be about questions concerning how we got into the truth, the walk that we've had, because a lot of people are always surprised when they realize, or whenever I tell them how young I was when I first got into the truth. Of course, his walk, was very interesting walk, especially the things that went on behind closed doors. So, the Most High has kept us through it all this long time. All praise be unto the Most High. So we would definitely say, tune in. If you have questions, of course, Captain Amon is going to be asking questions, but if you guys have questions in the chat, we're going to be answering those questions as well. right? But my bad. Go ahead.
But Con again, you know, Passover was very beautiful, man. That was like the best. You know, that's like the second. What? That's like that Passover was amazing. That's all I can say, right?
It was nice.
You know, it was beautiful. It was amazing. The ride down to Florida was good. You know, everything was to Rob. Everything was good. All praise to the Most High. But was that it? Oh, the cash app. You remember the cash app?
This $sign the. Oh Lord. Hold on. Let me just place it up there because I just remembered that we literally have a way of showing them. I think it's banners. Here we go. The LOZ Augusta. I almost said the Light of Zion. That's why I said, oh Lord. But the LOZ Augusta is the cash app. If anybody has it on their heart to donate, you know, we're trying to make sure that we get the camp supplies, etc. That way we go out there to teach, because that's a very important thing that we have to do and establish up here. All praise be to the Most High, because we're ready. We're ready. We've been waiting for the longest. You know, it's, you know, we love doing the lives on here, but going out to actually speak to the people, that's what we, you know, really need and we want to do.
All right.
So, you know, that's gonna benefit, you know, Israel more, of course. You know, us establishing our zone up here, that will also help and benefit the nation up here. So All
right. So you know, I think that's everything. Tune in at 8:00 Friday. It's our next live. You know, Eastern Standard Time on Friday, 8:00. You know, we're gonna hold the live Barak class, and we're gonna have a Q&A session. You know, about the walk in the truth. You know, any questions y'all have, y'all could throw at us. You know, any questions, right? But I think I covered everything. You know, just continue and do the will of the Most High. I thank everybody for tuning in. Again, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah. Bahasham, Yahawashi. Till next time, Shalom, King.
Shalom, Israel.